Video, we're going to go over real estate syndications versus buying your next rental property, why one is significantly better than the other. Stay tuned. Hope you find this super valuable. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Take care. All right, so today what I'm going to be going over is why syndications versus actually buying a rental property yourself. Okay, this is coming from experience, not that I'm trying to sell you anything here. I'm looking to be able to help add value to you making decisions and prevent you from making mistakes that I've made in the past. And looking back at it for the goals that I was looking to hit, why I was doing something, and to see if there's any other better options out there. So to get straight to it, I'm going to compare a 4-unit multifamily investment versus, say, coming into my fund and being able to have a return that is set. Okay. So specifically, we have a base of 12% to our investors currently, and in most every deal that we do, and it's a fixed return. Okay, so it's simple. I'm going to get it out of the way first. It's very simple. It's very linear, very straightforward. If the if the property makes money, or if the property even loses, you're making 12%. Okay. Now getting into the interesting part, the investment property. Okay, so if you have a 4-unit property, let's say each unit's worth $150,000, it's a $600,000 property, and your debt service on that is, let's say, $6,000, right? So the thing about an investment property is for every single door that you have, door meaning apartment, 4 units, 4 doors, okay? Those are, let's say, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. That is a bathroom, 4 bathrooms. That is 4 kitchens. That is 4 refrigerators. That is 4 AC units. There are 4 things that can go wrong. And they can go wrong at the same time as well. Okay, so if you replace all the AC units 5 years ago, and let's say they all crap out the same time at the same year, 5 years later down the road, right after you buy it, those are things that you're going to be expected to handle. Okay, there's ways that you can actually protect yourself in doing that. There's insurances and warranties that you can do, but let's say that you've been watching Bigger Pockets for a very long time, and they say, hey, multifamily investment is great. Well, everyone does talk about multifamily investment being a great investment. What they don't talk about are the maintenance issues that can come up from it. Okay. So what I've seen, to the best of my experiences, is that if you manage a property very well, that you're going to be looking at about $300 in net profit per door, right? That's net profit after expenses are paid, and that's after debt service is paid. Okay. So $300 per door, you're making $1,200 a month, 300 times 4. That is going to give you $1,200 a month in net cash flow after you pay the bank and everybody else like that. You put it in your pocket. It's fantastic, right? Let's say the property, doesn't increase in value or anything like that, just to put a factor out aside, and you're just strictly making money on the cash flow. Okay. So let's say you go 3 months, you've collected $3,600 in 3 months in net cash flow. Fantastic. Okay. But let's say on the 3rd month that one of the AC units gets absolutely destroyed. Okay, and I don't mean destroyed in like, hey, someone come and beats it with a bat, but a AC unit just needs to be completely replaced. Okay, you don't have a warranty, you don't have anything else, but your repair guy comes in and says, hey, wow, you know what? They had 6 dogs, and 1 second. And let's say that they have 6 dogs. Sorry, I have my CTO calling me. And they have 6 dogs. This actually happened in one of our properties, and the 6 dogs, the hair got into the system, basically shorted the AC system, and he tells you it's going to be $3,600. Okay. So now in 3 months, in just one AC unit, you've wiped out all of the net profits by having to go purchase a new AC unit. You can't refit, you can't rebuild it, anything else like that. Only choice is to be able to go buy a brand new unit. Okay. Now let's say at the same time, somebody, you have to replace Freon and those kind of things in AC units. You've already been wiped out of all your cash flow. And if anything else now comes up, you are negative after 3 months. Okay, so I want to put that in perspective. Most likely when one thing goes wrong, there's going to be other units that are going to go wrong as well. Okay, so I want to go and throw that out as well, is you are susceptible to anything that goes wrong in that unit, and especially being a newer investor. You're probably not going to have resources in having cheaper appliances or cheaper, AC units, for example, HVAC systems. You're probably going to have to shop at market, where that 36 unit, I say 3,600 because this is actually a situation that happened to me. That $3,600 in that one unit was actually going to cost somebody else about $6,000, but this is somebody who has worked with me in the past for a while. They've done a really good job. We've built a relationship, so he kind of gives me that hookup. Where if you're a first-time investor, you're not really going to be able to get that type of pricing. Okay. So in my situation, right, I'm able to get pricing a lot lower versus, if you're a new investor, you're going to be susceptible to anything that comes up to it. Tenant needs anything fixed. Let's say, you wiped out that $3,600 and now that tenant calls you and says, hey, well, the bathroom, is a little leaky as well. And, can you fix it? Well, you're wiped out on cash. Now you're paying out of pocket and you're hoping, anything else, doesn't go wrong in the property, which 99% of the times tenants aren't taking care of your property very, very well. Especially in a 4-unit property. Okay. So versus, if we were invested, my company was invested into that property, and you had $100,000 invested into that property, probably same amount that you would have into a $600,000 4-unit property. What we're able to do is we're able to get better pricing. We have warranties. We have, a lot of, we have reserves when we go and buy property. So we expect for things to go wrong. And we're able to absorb that without it having to affect your cash flow. And over a 3-month period of time, you would have actually made $3,000 if you invested $100,000. You make 12% annually. You're 3%. You're making 1% over 3 months. That's $3,000. You've made $3,000 in net cash versus $1,200. A month, and $3,600, which then, you're susceptible to anything comes up. You don't have the fluctuation and you don't have to deal with anything that comes up in the property. So just 2 cents, a lot of people don't talk about, especially going into this very interesting cyclical time, this period in our marketplace that, tenants can get a little funny. Things are getting a lot more expensive. These are things that you want to consider as a real estate investor to say, hey, what is my goal this year? And part of your goal and your plan to get to that goal needs to account for the downside in a worst case scenario. So I want to be able to provide this as if this is helpful to anybody who's out here. I would love to be able to discuss anything, how we can be able to help you get to your goals and being able to provide passive income without having to have the downside of managing the property. We like managing property. We like hairy situations. We seem to be very good managers in what we do and be able to provide a great solution to any problems that come up. And if this is helpful to anybody, just please share it, because I want to make sure that the road bumps and hiccups that I ever go within my business, that I've learned that they do not go in vain, and be able to provide value to anyone that is out there looking to grow their portfolio in real estate. Again, my name is Javier Suarez. I'm with Suarez Capital. I'm not asking for anything here. I want to be able to provide as much value as possible, and any of the sacrifices that I've made in my company not to go in vain. So if you are interested in discussing with me, my website is thesuarezcapital.com, and you're more than welcome to create an account. If you go to LP Login, create an account there, see what other opportunities that we have invest. Instead of looking at any other properties, maybe look at something that we're already in. We've already vetted and expected the worst case to actually happen. So this is Javier Suarez again, signing out. God bless. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.